Hi everyone, how are you? Happy Saturday. Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. As you know, we are a channel that supports the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry, Meghan, Archie, Baby Lily, Mama Doria, Pula Guy, the chickens, Mama Mia, all of us here at the Sussex Squad. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. Again, happy Saturday. Um, Oh, our wonderful faves are, I think they're quiet. I don't think, there's not much happening really by way of, being active out and about, at least not while we're seeing. I'm sure they are doing whatever they're doing under tree in Montecito in private as it should be. So that's all wonderful. But other things are going on around them. And so we're just gonna, just gotta kind of have a little bit of a weekend update today as to what's going on with our faves as we wait for Spare, as we wait for their supposed docu-series that Netflix hasn't spoken about. It's so funny. Everybody is talking about this supposed die. Well, not supposed, actually. Megan did talk about it a little bit in the Variety interview. But other than that, we've heard anything. And so everybody has an opinion about this docu-series, and we have no idea because, well, the people who are involved aren't saying anything. So, but according to Scobie, a couple of was it 3 weeks ago, whatever, Scobie wrote that it was going to be dropping a month before Spare. So sometime around December 10th, we are supposed to be getting this documentary. And I know the British tabloids have been going crazy about it, and they're sure it's going to be dropping, and other dramas that they're sort of making up around it and all of this stuff. And so it's like, we will see. We will see if, whenever. And I'm just, my assumption is if it is dropping a month before, which it will be around December 10th, around there, we won't hear about it before Thanksgiving. Most likely, we won't hear about it until the beginning of December. So, or who knows? Maybe they'll just drop it. I have no idea. I don't know how Netflix work. And so they have been very stealth, and which I love. Let's just, just be their ninja selves. I'm all for that. So that is awesome. But in the meantime, we have a little bit of news from them yesterday, actually. And, all of us who are on Twitter know that Twitter is going bust any minute, or at least that's what their staff who are being either fired or leaving or whatever. Twitter streets is a mess. At any moment, one of their employees said that Twitter wouldn't make it through this weekend. So who knows? At any moment, Twitter could go away. And so a lot of us in the squad, if you're on Twitter and you haven't, a lot of us have joined Black Twitter. Yes, there is a Black Twitter created by this wonderful Black lady in Canada. And so we have all joined Black Twitter. A lot of people have also joined this social media site called Hive Social. I tried joining it and it would not. They're all in their beta phase. So the sites are really being built, and all of a sudden Twitter is crashing, or not crashing, but going away, I guess. And so there's like an influx of everyone jumping to try to find a social media site. And so the sites aren't equipped right now to handle the inflow of people, so they're kind of going crazy. And so I've been trying to join Hive as well, and it just is a whole mess. So it's not letting me. And so right now, if just in case Twitter goes down, I'm on Black Twitter, just like a lot of squaddies are also on Black Twitter. So John, come on over. When you're signing in, please, when they ask about grits, don't put sugar. You'll know what I mean when you go there, because you'll get kicked out right back to Twitter, to regular Twitter. Don't put sugar. I did, and I got kicked out. And then I had to come back in and change my ways and be like, okay, do you put salt in grits or you put sugar in grits? Let's try salt. So yeah, you'll understand when you get over there. Anyways, so our phase, with all the mess going on and with Twitter and social media and all the hubbub around all of it, including misinformation, trolling, and all of those things, Archwell put this out yesterday, and I'm so happy that they're doing this, so that we know that they are really working to change and to really change the landscape of social media. So we know that they are funding different organizations, whether it's Stanford or USC, and now at Harvard. And so they put out this news yesterday. Archwell Foundation and Harvard Berkman Klein Center for Internet and Society are investing in our digital future. The Institute for Rebooting Social Media at Harvard Berkman Klein Center for Internet and Society, one of Archwell Foundation's 2022 grant recipients, has officially welcomed 13 inaugural fellows from around the world. The fellows will work together to develop and expand on groundbreaking projects that reimagine our digital world. Congrats to all their recipients. So they're going to be working, together to figure out how to reboot and reimagine what, a really healthy social media platforms should look like and what it should be like when you go on there, and hopefully, and I'm assuming, troll free and and disinformation free, which would make, as much as I love Twitter, to be honest, I wouldn't miss Twitter. Even though I would miss my, what's it, almost 1,600 followers, that would be, it's like, oh, well, But I'm telling, there's so much venom and nastiness and trolling, especially Meghan, or not even just Meghan, women of color, Black women, our vice president. There's so much hatred and so much trolling and so much nastiness that I wouldn't miss any of that stuff. I really would not miss royal reporters. I will not miss the British, none of that. I will not miss them at all. So for me, it'll be like, yes, just take it away. Let's reimagine what social media platforms should look like, what it could be, where it's a positive space, where it's not taxing on people's mental health. And so again, even though I love connecting with my friends on Twitter and connecting with the squad there, because that's where most of us are. And I love that. The other stuff I can literally live without. So if it goes down, we're on Black Twitter, so come join us over there. If a lot of people are on Hive as well, Hive Social. If I can ever figure out how to get onto Hive Social, I'll come and join you over there. In the meantime, I can't figure it out because it's not letting me. And so, but it's just really wonderful to know that Harry and Meghan are working on it. And I just look forward to what this reimagined social media space will look like. I really excited about it. And also Chris Boozy will be working, maybe really working on one. We'll get to that in a second. Again, he has been the one out there front and center fighting against trolling of Black women and women of color on social media, especially on Twitter, especially Twitter and in YouTube. And so again, troll free, British press and reporter, commentators, all of that free, and I'm good. So so kudos for Archwell. I'm glad they put that out there. There was this other nonsense thing about them joining the virtual world or something. I have no idea. I mean, people like to use Harry and Meghan's name to sell their stuff. I know one of the British, Russell Myers, that lying Russell Myers, like, Harry and Meghan are going into virtual world. And then there's another clip of it says, oh, the people are saying, well, we are offering this to Harry and Meghan. Not that they're a part of it, but of course, Russell Myers is that they're doing it. Guy just lies. But anyway, enough about Russell Myers and his lying mess. Anyway, moving on. So we know that coming up December 6th, the Sussexes are going to be in New York accepting the award from the Robert F. Kennedy Center, or the Organizations for Human Rights. And so there's been a lot of, again, British press and British media trying to just sort of muddy the space and trying to just throw drama where there is none. Where, I saw an article, like a screenshot of an article where Kerry Kennedy's crazy brother, the one who is like very anti-vax and all about, just putting out all this misinformation, and it's just really it's like one of those MAGA people. So I don't know if he's MAGA or not, but I know that he's very anti-vax and is putting out all of this false information, and he apparently hates it's just like anyone really who has anything to do with the vaccines for COVID, especially Anthony Fauci. And it's just like Dr. Fauci is just literally trying to save people's lives. What are you doing? But anyway, he had an issue with Harry and Meghan. Receiving this award. And of course, the British media are going to go to anyone who is negative, which is what they always do. So Kerry Kennedy did this interview with, I think it's a Spanish language news outlet, Vanitatis. And I should have looked that up. But anyway, this is the translation in English about really why, Harry and Meghan were perfect to receive this award. And I think it's, of course, trolls will get on that, and they think, why is Harry and Meghan? They are doing nothing for human rights, which these obviously ignorant of the work Harry and Meghan have been doing all along, or willfully ignorant and just trying to throw mess at them. So anyway, so Kerry Kennedy did this, and she's one of the good Kennedys. So it says, Vanita's talked to Kerry Kennedy, JFK's niece, Meghan's and she basically says Meghan's attitude was heroic. And says, we talked to the daughter of the remembered Robert Kennedy about about the Duke of Sussex's NGO, the war on Ukraine, and her father's legacy. And so this is a part of what she says in the interview, and specifically about Meghan and Harry. She says, when my father went to South Africa in 1966, he spoke in front of a white audience and said that the problem with this generation is talking about racial justice. He also spoke of moral courage, saying that few would have the courage to question their colleagues, family, and community about the power structure they maintained. And this is what Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have done. They went to the oldest institution in the UK history and told them what they're doing wrong. And they couldn't have structural racism within the institution, that they could not maintain a misunderstanding about mental health. They knew that if they did this, there would be consequences. They would be ostracized. They would lose their family. They would their position within the structure, that people would blame them for it. They have done it anyway because they believe they couldn't live with themselves if they didn't question this authority. I think they have been heroic in taking this step. Kudos, Kerry Kennedy. I love this. And I love that she understood what that meant for Harry and Meghan. Like, they knew, they didn't take that step lightly. They knew what that would mean for them, and they did it anyway. And that is truly, truly heroic, because many people would not say a word. They would just sit there and bow. And they wouldn't be, they wouldn't say a word, and they would just like, okay, I'm a princess, I'll just take my princess. No, they called it out, walked away, and it's like, no. And now obviously, maybe the people could say, well, they're still part of the royal family, whatever, at least when the Queen was there. But in a lot of ways, they are ostracized. In a lot of ways, we just have to look at what Prince Charles did during the Queen's funeral, how they just went out of their way to try to humiliate Harry and Meghan. And this is their thing. They don't like being called out and, publicly called out for their racist behavior. So kudos to Kerry Kennedy for really speaking boldly about who her father is and his stance, and her belief and her stance in it, and why Harry and Meghan are will be honored on December 6th by her father's organization, at least the organization that bears his name, for their heroic step. And so I just say kudos to it all. So I love it. I absolutely love it. Also, more about the Sussexes, Better Up, which we know. Prince Harry is the chief impact officer at Better Up. Better Up, we says we are honored to see Better Up recognized as a military-friendly employer, creating a safe space for our communities in top priority at our org, including supporting the careers, families, and mental health of employees who are selflessly and bravely serve their countries. And so it's awesome to see, and again, Better Up is where they are with the military because of Prince Harry. As we know, Prince Harry is a veteran of the Afghanistan, served in the British military for over 10 years. And it is awesome to see them because they are, really providing such an incredible service to the military community, through Harry. I mean, Invictus Games, their veterans get free coaching. I think they also worked with the Better Up. Apart from that, also works with the Air Force and other branches of the military. And so it is just so great that they are able to provide that service for the veterans. Again, this is this is it's a way. It's not therapy, but it's a way to help people with their mental fitness, that they are ready, whether it's, you doing Invictus Games or whatever it is you're doing, so that on a daily basis, you are mentally fit to do whatever it is and to overcome whatever challenges you need to overcome. So kudos to Better Up for this. And I, looked into it a little bit. And so what is it? The military friendly, and these are organizations, lots and lots and lots of organizations that are it's so funny. Oh my goodness, I realized something with this, but my highlight went awry. It's so funny when you pull things into this app. It just sometimes everything goes awry from where how you did it. And so it's like, how did my yellow highlights get all the way up there? But who knows? But anyways, apart from that, so this is the site where you can go and you can find out if your company, if you're in the military, and you're looking for jobs and you want to see, for example, which company is friendly or military friendly for veterans. You can go on this site and find out which companies are the best for you. And so there are tons and tons of them, and I think they rate them gold, silver, or bronze, depend on how much money and time and whatever the service is that the company puts out to benefits the military personnel. And so Better Up is bronze. If you, the middle one, you see Better Up there, that's where the highlight was supposed to be, but it's not at the second. It just shifted up above it there. So Better Up, they provide info. It's info technology. So they provide less than 500 million. So they are in the bronze category. So Better Up, you got to move up. But right now, they're in the bronze category. I mean, this just started. Prince Harry just started last year, and he is basically spearheading their 1%, that they're doing 1%, I think, from their company go towards this, specifically these types of initiatives. And so they're in the bronze category as military friendly employers. So it is fantastic to see. I'm sure as they continue to grow, more and more money would be donated or deferred to military families or programs and whatever, specifically for military. We know we saw Better Up at the Invictus Games in The Hague. They were there. I'm sure they'll be there again in Dusseldorf. And so there are so many things that they're doing, and it's fantastic. And again, Prince Harry. I love it. So kudos to Better Up. As you know, we'll see them next, hopefully in the silver, and then up to the gold. So, I mean, look at Berkshire Hathaway. I mean, they are an old company. They are, I guess, donated or have set aside $5 billion for you know, I guess for this. And so it's I mean, these companies make a ton of money. So, and again, Better Up is it's a young company, so they're not up in that range just yet. So of course Berkshire Hathaway is gold. So hopefully one day Better Up gets there. So, but it's just wonderful that they're on that list of military friendly employers. So kudos. What else is happening? Oh, this is a wonderful, wonderful article. I put it in our community page earlier today, so I hope you guys had a chance to read it. And this is Sherry McBain. She is a vet who took part in at the Invictus Games in The Hague. And this is her story. And, she was in the military, and obviously she is no longer because of her injuries, and also because of PTSD. Mostly, I think it's PTSD as opposed to a physical injury, but it's PTSD that she suffered as a nurse working in the front lines in Afghanistan. And I think she was also in Iraq as well. And so obviously, you see all these trauma cases come in, and a lot of times you're there and you get the brunt of it as a nurse, as a wartime nurse. And so incredible amount of PTSD that she's, according to her article, it seems like it's something that she suffers with every day. And so it's just really amazing to see not just hers, there's so many of the vets who they talk all the time about how Invictus and training for Invictus and this and sport has helped them to overcome so many challenges. And it's so funny, I'm reading a book about the same thing, about how sport or physical activity or play, having fun, how that helps so much in overcoming so many things. So a little bit about Sherry McBain. She says, part of the article, it talks about they asked her, can you tell us about the games, because obviously you see the gold, she has the gold medal around her neck there, and that's her family with her. She says, we can finally come out, when we finally came out of the pandemic, we went out to The Hague for the games in April 2022. There were 20 countries represented, including Ukraine. They were literally pulled off the battlefield, and their presence helped to raise the profile of what was going on there. On arrival, we were invited to brunch at the British Embassy, which made us feel really welcome. Prince Harry and Meghan came along to address the UK team. It was a great morning, and as the archery team captain, I got to introduce them to all the members. What Prince Harry has done for wounded veterans is incredible. He has given them a chance to put on a shirt, wear the Union Jack to represent their country, and feel proud. It is great to see people come alive again as a result. And again, we talked about this before, because Prince Harry, during The Hague, and I think it was the final speech he was giving at the end, where he talked about when they did the survey about of the athletes there. One of the things that came out of that was the fact that the games and the sport that they're playing literally saved their lives. And when she talked about people come alive again, that's a lot of times that literally come alive again. Even JJ, Prince Harry's friend, talked about that. It's like, I wouldn't be alive today if it wasn't for the Invictus Games. And so, the same with her, because she was really going through a hard time with PTSD and all of that stuff, and the depression and all of that comes with that. And a little bit more of the article, and that's her, she's the archery captain, that's her there. She says, I actually fell in love with archery on a cruise ship. The ones with the sticky arrows and targets. I liked it and thought I'd give it a go. When I first began archery, I couldn't hit a barn door, but I found that when I started, it was the only time I had peace of mind away from the PTSD. It became a safe space for me. I also thought that the abdominal strength archery requires could build my core and help in my recovery. And so it is just so fantastic to see, and again, she won gold. She talked a little bit about the mental strength that she needed for to win gold for the event. So kudos to her. And then she also talked a little bit about two people that you will remember. She says, for competitors, the days were long. The first few were training. I spent a lot of time with the Ukrainian team, particularly with a girl named Anna. Her mom was a medic and was captured by Russians in March. She wanted to raise the profile of her mom and the country. I felt a kinship with her and her experience. We spent hours together shooting at the same target. It was harrowing at points, but everyone exemplified the spirit of not giving up, taking those steps, being the best version of yourselves, and taking on what was given to you. And then you guys will remember Anna Sofia Pazanova. She was there, and Prince Harry met her, and he knew of her situation. And that's Yulia, her mom, who was kidnapped by Russian soldiers in Ukraine, and she has since been released. And we remember her too because Prince Harry and Netflix actually gave her a camera. She was supposed to be filming the workouts and the pre Invictus Games, you know, the soldiers getting ready for that and all of that stuff. But then the war broke out. Then, the war, Russia invaded. And so she used her camera to capture, because she's also a medic. So she used that camera instead of, there was no training. So she used the camera to capture what was happening at the time. And so then that was turned over to an AP reporter right before she was captured. And she spent months in Russian prison and was, basically they tried to get her to kill herself. And so she didn't. And eventually she was released. And she spoke to Prince Harry as one of the things that kept her alive. Was just, she said it was because that training that she was doing for Invictus Game is one of the things that kept her, and I think kept her mentally fit to be able to withstand what she withstood at the hands of Russian military. And so it is just, it is just such a wonderful story to know that she's been released. If she, whether she goes back into, trying to save others again, as she was doing as a medic, whether she goes back to doing it, I don't know. It might be a little bit a while before she does it, because she said she obviously needs time to heal and all of that stuff. So it is just it's sort of like a story that has come full circle, but at least she's home, she's back with her family. And so it's just a wonderful thing. So hopefully we'll see her. And the wonderful thing too is Anna competed in place of her mom in archery, and she won a silver medal. So their practice together was fantastic, because she also won a medal in place of her mom. So that is fantastic, because again, her mom was supposed to be at Invictus when she was captured. So anyways, moving on from that wonderful story. And again, the link to this is in the community page, so it'll be in the show notes of this video. So if you want to take a read of that story, please do. It's wonderful, absolutely wonderful story to see the power of Invictus, the power of those games on the lives of these veterans. So oh, jumping over to Shutter Island for a second for the mess nonsense. So in Megan's podcast on last Tuesday, Archetypes Tuesday, she talked about the word woke. And so she said, literally, and this is what she said when she mentioned the word woke. And she says, and I thought a lot about words that became unnecessarily charged as it pertains to women, like feminism, for example, often treated as taboo as the F word, or the word woke. I know I'm saying woke. I fully realize that I am spoon feeding the clickbait. But here is why. Because woke by definition means alert to injustice in society, especially racism. Now, what's loaded or wrong with that? And when you layer a woman into that seemingly anodyne definition, it becomes for many almost disgusting. And we look at the dictionary definition of woke is exactly what Megan says: alert to injustice in society, especially racism. So, in other words, we need to stay woke. So, out of that very accurate statement from Megan, in jumps white British reporter who thinks that he knows better than Megan, what the word woke means. Megan thinks woke just means caring and kind, and here's why she is wrong. I kid you not. Megan thinks woke means caring and kind. Here is why she's wrong. Where in Megan's literally there are transcripts of everything Megan says on Spotify side. If you want to go look at her specific words, and these I literally just copied and pasted what Megan said from her transcripts. And so this white dude from the UK decides he needs to white-splain to black people what the word means, because Black Megan doesn't know what the word means. The Duchess claims that woke is simply alert to injustice in society, but that's not true. Oh, of course not, because the Black people who came up with it would have no idea what that word means. We need white Michael Deacon, British royalist from the Telegraph, to tell us Black folks what the word means, because, oh no, we only made up the word. We couldn't possibly know what it means. And so Michael Deacon, white columnist from the Daily Telegraph, decides Meghan Markle, the Californian podcast host, cannot understand why anyone would use the term woke as an insult. Woke, by definition, means alert to injustice in society, especially racism, she said this week. Now, what's loaded or wrong about that? Well, quite a few people on Modern Left, I noticed, appear to share her confusion. So this seems an ideal opportunity to clear that matter up. Or, in white people speak, let's white-splain it to Black people, because they couldn't possibly know what the word they made up mean. To others, though, it means sanctimonious, sensuous, intolerance, illiberal, bullying, hectoring, hypocritical, insufferable, holier than thou. Essentially, it's a modern version of the popular 90s phrase, PC gone mad. Oh, thank you, Michael Deacon, white columnist from the Telegraph, for telling Black people what a word that they created means. Because, we just need that from you. And it is unreal to me, the utter audacity of some people. And it's so funny because the people, if you notice, some of the people who use woke and throw woke around in every single thing and use it to demonize people are the exact what they're saying that this is. Because the people's like, oh, you're so woke, you're this woke and woke and woke. You usually think of people like, Garbage Twins, Piers Morgan and Dan Wooten and their ilks. And when you look at some of the things there, Michael Deacon, white columnist from the Telegraph, is labeling woke as bullying, hectoring, hypocritical, insufferable. Well, if you look at, say, Piers Morgan and Dan Wooten, all of those words apply to them. All of them apply to them. And it's really... Talk about hypocritical. Talk about insufferable. Talk about bullies. You, Michael Deacon, and the rest of your white friends who decide you need to turn a word that was created by Black people into this mess that you've created, and then try to lecture Black people on what supposedly the word... You know, stay in your lane, dude. Stay in your lane. That's all I'm going to say on that. Moving on. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyways, going back to Twitter and their mess, and because of all that's happening, and Chris Boozy's been doing a great job, Christopher Boozy, as we know, um, with just fighting back against trolls and really calling out social media, especially Twitter and YouTube, about with the trolling that's been happening, that they have been allowing on their site. And so, because Elon Musk mess and Twitter is a mess, as we know, so he is thinking of creating a social media platform. And so right now he said that if he gets more than 100,000 people who are interested in it, he will go ahead and create this, at least start it and, create like a beta of it and then work on it to get it to full. So if he gets over 100,000 people, then he'll think about doing it. But so he is pre-registering people. It's like, as you can see on the right, the pre-beta registration. He's registering people now to see if there are more than 100 people interested in it, he'll go ahead and start, at least thinking about it and I guess start working on it. So I registered. I would definitely. And it also asked, what would you like to see? And I was like, well, I'd love to see, I would love to see a platform free of trolls, British reporters, commentators, biographers, just completely free of any of those people. And I would be very, very happy. So hopefully he gets over 100,000 people, because I know a lot of people would be interested in it. He has been one of the most successful people to call the elections. He's got some of it wrong. Obviously, nobody's perfect. People are predicting things, but he's been one of the most successful of them. So it's very, very interesting. Hopefully he gets the 100,000 and he can go ahead. And honestly, it'll just be great to see another Black creator create platforms. I mean, the same thing with Black Twitter. It's created by a Black woman. And so it'll be great to see his created by a Black man. I just want to see are people being promoted, or at least their work and their creativity is out there and being successful. And I know and I could trust that Chris has the heart to fight trolls, and it's not about money. He really has a passion, and especially going after trolls and hate accounts, especially single purpose hate accounts that hate on Black and brown women. And so that is his thing. That was how this whole thing started, was with him really doing that report on the single purpose hate accounts that is on Twitter. A lot of them are still on Twitter, by the way, against Meghan. And then he went and he did one against what they were doing against Vice President Kamala Harris. And it's the same thing. And so I can trust that Chris is going to fight. Twitter was doing nothing. Even today, Chris put out a thread about one of the Twitter, I guess, these security people who, deals with, I guess, trolls and whatever, him talking about it, but nowhere in it that he acknowledged the fact that on his watch, he allowed all this hate accounts. And so they're trying to blame Elon Musk for a lot of stuff. And I was like, a lot of stuff that you guys, Chris was like, a lot of stuff you guys were doing pre Elon Musk, a lot of stuff, including all the hate accounts that we've been reporting over and over that they've done nothing with. They're still there, so Twitter has been very, very negligible in that stuff. And so I can trust that Chris is going to go after them and at least not let them on his platform. So hopefully it goes ahead, and I will definitely join along with Black Twitter. So I'd be on a Black girl and a Black guy platform. That would be awesome. So anyways, moving on. This was a little bit funny. There was this girl, and I didn't bring in her tweet because I felt bad. I'm like, I don't want to embarrass her, but she had gone to, I guess she'd gone to an Elton John concert. And so she saw this, there was an image projected on the screen. And so she came on Twitter and was saying, like, oh, wow. She actually, in the highlighted portion of this, her tweet was, love seeing Meghan and Harry's visual tribute in Elton John Dodger Stadium tour tonight. So Elton John, I guess he's, I think, in his middle of his farewell tour, I think, and he played at Dodger Stadium, and there was an image of Harry and Meghan flash. And so she, I guess she thought that, that was part of whatever it is, montage or whatever it is they were doing. But then someone today posted, and then if you notice, Hello Magazine, Hello Magazine picked up her tweet and then did an article about it, I guess. And I didn't look. I was like, just give Hello Magazine a pass. Even though we did them the other day with the kindness thing, I'm like, that's the only time I'm promoting Hello. But anyway, I didn't even read the article because I'm like, just because they flashed on the screen, that warrants, I guess that warrants a news article. But anyways, you can see the picture, and it's kind of really small, but it looks like, and what it seems to be, is the girl who is in the montage looks like she's wearing a t-shirt with Harry and Meghan's image on it. And not exactly Harry and Meghan, and it's an image of Harry and Meghan's wedding day when Harry is kissing Meghan. And it's just very funny. I was just like, oh, poor girl. So I don't think she noticed that it was a t-shirt that she was tweeting about. But it was just, I don't know, it was just very funny to me. And apparently it's going to be streaming on, the concert is going to be streaming on Disney Plus. So I guess if we see it, I don't have Disney Plus. So if anybody sees it, they can look out for this image of Harry and Meghan that is projecting from a girl's t-shirt. So I just thought it was kind of funny. I didn't bring her name in because I was like, oh, I don't want to embarrass her because she was just so excited to see the Harry and Meghan's image up there. And it was just like, oh, but it's a t-shirt, honey. But anyways, oh, bless her heart. And who knew? I haven't been keeping up with Suits, but apparently Suits is on Peacock, I guess the Peacock network. And so they did a throwback photo of Suits. And it's like, I guess, Friday, Flashback Friday, I guess. So it says, this throwback is giving 100, and that's Meghan there. And I think Meghan, that's when Meghan left after the 100th episode of Suits. And it's like, oh, picture of you, bad luck for you, 2 years. Oh, really? But anyway, I just thought it was kind of cool. I still have not gone through all those seasons of Suits. I think I'm still in season 1. I have to go through a lot. I could tell you, I am not a big TV person, and so it takes me a long time to go through. I'm always like the last person to watch a movie. It's why I think that, well, The Crown is another issue. I have a lot of reasons why my body just shuts down and don't want to watch it. But I am really bad with watching things like this. So I will get through and finish it. But the episodes that I saw so far was really cool. It's a cool drama. But the season 1 was not so much of Meghan. You think, season 1, I think later on it was more about her, she's more involved in it. So I am still on the season 1. I will get up to the others eventually. But kudos, I like the flashback, the throwback photo, and that's Meghan obviously in the middle there with her co-stars. And another throwback, and we remember this so well in 2019, Harry and Meghan at the MLB series in the MLB game in the UK. So MLB Europe, or Major League Baseball Europe, has like, we want to see your 2019 London series picks. Drop them below with the hashtag London series for your chance to be featured in something cool. Whatever that something cool is. And it's really wonderful because Invictus Games, as you can see in the middle, they did their throwback photo, and we all remember this this t-shirt back there. When we saw it with on a lady. And now we're seeing it in a guy. So I guess different people had it on the back of their t-shirts. And obviously it's a quote from Babe Ruth. You can't beat the person who never gives up. And it was such an incredible photo with Harry and Meghan walking right past this woman with that t-shirt on the back. And it was just like, that is just such an iconic image. And it's in our community page. I go find a photo and put it in there. But MLB, they tweeted out, we had an incredible time in 2019 London series. Thanks, MLB Europe. We can't wait to be featured in something cool, whatever that something cool is. And obviously, we remember that beautiful picture at the bottom with Harry and Meghan and the teams, and the group that was part of that day. But what an incredible day that was for them and MLB. Oh, it's wonderful. And of course, that's when Meghan met cousin Mookie, and then they also met the Boston team, they met the Yankee team, and they got all this stuff for Archie, the little baby baseball outfits for Archie and everything. Oh, it's so cool. And I will never forget cousin Mookie. Favorite thing of all. So kudos. And I am looking forward to see whatever that's something cool that MLB Europe has. So there you go. And this is so wonderful. These are two organizations that Meghan and Harry and Meghan are a part of, and they've done work with, and I just love them both so much. And Meghan and Harry are part of just really supporting these organizations. Mina Mahela Foundation. I love this with the lady with the cricket bag. She's out there playing. And so it says, Girls at Mina Mahela, breaking stereotypes. I love it. It just goes along with archetypes, and this is obviously an organization that Meghan has been a part of and supported long before she met Harry, and she was in India with Mina Mahela. And so I still support them. Archwell definitely still supports them. And CamFed, which they both support, CamFed tweeted this out in support of Archetype. She says, they said, Angie, and if you remember Angie from CamFed, so awesome. She says, from our audacious sisterhood to these audacious icons of Meghan, Jamila, and S. Agadashlu. Thank you for never giving up your activism, for putting in the work for women and girls. There's strength in numbers indeed. Hashtag Archetypes with Meghan. And I was like, yes, CamFed. I love these organizations. And of course, the squad has supported CamFed in so many ways. And I would always remember that wonderful fundraiser we did with CamFed when Harry and Meghan jumped in and they matched our donation. And it's just like they gave it like $130,000 and matched us. And it was just like so wonderful that the squad and the Sussexes and CamFed were all working together for that fundraiser. Oh, I will always remember it. It was just so wonderful. So I just love it. And I love it. It's like from our audacious sisterhood to those audacious icons. I love it. I'm like, it just warms my heart that Archetypes is making and I keep saying it is a public service Meghan is doing. It's so inspiring. It is so inspiring. So I am so happy to see CamFed all over this, and also Mina Mahela out there with her, this lady with her cricket bat, breaking stereotypes. There you go. Who says men are the only ones who could play cricket? Hello, So I love it. 6, sister, 6. She hits a 6. So that cricket speak, that is. So there you go. And finally, I always love these things. I love when people quote Harry and Meghan. And it's so funny. I realized I didn't pull in the orgs that tweeted this about Harry. Oh, oops. Oh, well. But it says, to make the decision to receive help is not a sign of weakness. In today's world, more than ever, it is a sign of strength. Prince Harry, and I did not bring in the org that tweeted that. So I am sorry. But on the right, we see Britney Spears. Just in case you hadn't seen this, I'm assuming other podcasts, maybe Byron or Duchess of Success, may have already showed this. But if they hadn't, Britney Spears tweeted out this quote of Meghan a few days ago. She says, you're allowed to set boundaries. You're allowed to be clear. It doesn't make you demanding, and it doesn't make you difficult, Meghan Markle. And, it's so funny. It got me thinking, what if Britney went on archetypes? What if Meghan I don't know what archetype it would be, but it would be really interesting. Because I know that there was the same thinking that she would talk to Oprah, but that didn't happen. So I don't know. I don't know if she, I have no idea where she is with doing interviews or anything like that. But I just thought it would be so interesting and so cool if she would have talked with Meghan, because at least we know Meghan would be so kind and comforting and gentle with her, and wherever she is. And so I just thought it was really interesting, one, that the quote, and then thinking of how just how wonderful she was with Paris. And I just thought, that would be really kind of interesting if Britney, although I would really, one of our squatties today, was it Karen M? Wait, Karen M, was that you? I forgot who it was on Twitter today. It was saying that they were thinking Beyonce for Meghan's last episode. And I was thinking Beyonce could be also great, because she was with this girl that works with Beyonce recently. And I was also thinking Vice President Kamala Harris and Oprah. Those are my four people. Britney Spears, Beyonce, Vice President Kamala Harris, and Oprah. Maybe I'll do a poll to see who who would be her last, two episodes. So who would be her guests on her last two episodes? That would be a cool thing. I think, yeah, I think that would be a cool poll. So anyways, it was just very interesting, got me thinking. So I would love to see it. I would love to see her talk to Britney, and Britney be able to talk about, but I have no idea what stereotype or archetype that would be. So I'm at a loss as to what it could. So maybe maybe you have an idea of, if she talked to Britney, what it could be. And because I got nothing. I literally got nothing of what that archetype could be. So anyways, but I just think it would be interesting. But anyways, I think that's it. That's all I got today. Thank you so much. I'm going to drop this later on today. And I'm assuming one or more of our moderators will be on the chat today. So thank you in advance to our awesome moderators, Lydia, Trish, Nelly, Karen M, Julia Rock, Cookies and Cream. Thank you guys so much for, gosh, you do an amazing job, and I cannot thank you enough for just how much you make the space so free of trolls, and you make it safe, and you make it fun, and I am so grateful for that. So thank you for that. Thank you to our 2 Cents Crew members who support the channel monthly. Let me take myself out of there so you can see everyone. There you go. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate every single one of you and everything that you do out of the kindness of your heart. So thank you to all of our Gold Star supporters who support the channel, whether it's super thanks, super chat, super sticker, super thanks, PayPal, Cash App, merchandise, all these ways that you support us. Thank you so much. Again, if you're interested in supporting us, no obligation at all, but it is most appreciated. So thank you so much. And here are some more of our Gold Star supporters. Thank you all. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for just hanging with me. And when I post this at some point later on today, I look forward to hearing you and chatting. Well, not hearing, but chatting with you and just, spending a few minutes of a Saturday together. So I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.